Today we're going to be talking about what the biggest landslide scenario for the Democratic Party could be in a future election. So we're going to take a look at the 2016 and 2012 and 2020 electoral map and just use this as our base. And we're going to go through a number of states and assign them to both the Republican and Democratic Party, depending on which state would vote with which party, and see the biggest electoral landslide that the Democrats could have. I'm going to also make a video about this for the Republicans. But it also seems like the Democrats have a much bigger option at a landslide than the Republicans do, just based on the fact that the electoral map most definitely favors them a little bit more, because the Democrats, number one, have more voters as well, but also where they're stationed, per se, where they live, definitely boosts up their electoral vote count. And considering the Republican voters are a little bit more dispersed, and when Republicans do win, it's not by margin to Democrats win, the general consensus is that the Democrats have a better shot at the Electoral College than the Republicans. So, oops, we're not supposed to be touching the likely or leaning or toss-up states, because today it's just going to be purely Democratic and Republican states and the biggest states that could land in the Democratic column and the biggest majority or landslide for the Democrats that is possible. So that includes them winning every state that they carried in 2016, because you're not going to get a landslide if you're not carrying those states. So that puts the Democrats right now, after I fill in this map, at 200 and let's see, which state am I missing? New Hampshire and Vermont. I forgot to fill in blue. So Democrats at 232 electoral votes, and the Republicans, of course, currently at 0 because I haven't filled in any other states. But the Rust Belt would have to go back to the Democrats in order for these to be a landslide, because we're going to have to start off in somewhere that the Democrats could easily win. But keep in mind, Democrats are probably not going to lose. The Republicans are probably not going to lose in a number of these states, because they are closer than you might think in other states that are different Republican states, but these states are not going to get too close. Yes, they could narrow down South Dakota, maybe, not Wyoming, not Idaho, but South Dakota maybe down to 15% margin, to a 15% margin for the Republicans. But right now, these states are going red. These are not going blue, even in the best case scenario for the Democrats, or in even a landslide scenario, which is what we're looking at right now. South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky. Actually, South Carolina voted for the Republican Party less than the state of Indiana and Missouri. So that's pretty interesting. And this puts the Republicans at 74 electoral votes and the Democrats at 278. So in a landslide for the Democrats, they would have to carry every swing state that we talked about in 16. That puts them at 346 electoral votes. Well, we also talked about Arizona and Georgia. This puts the Democrats nearing the margin that Bill Clinton got in both of his elections. If they get over 379 electoral votes, then they have passed a considerable amount past Bill Clinton's margin in 1992. So we were talking about previous elections that aren't in the 2000s, because it's not that modern. And when we go over to some other states right now, Texas would be pushing it. Kansas probably isn't flipping. Utah, even with an independent, probably isn't flipping. Alaska as well probably isn't flipping to the Democrats. Montana or North Dakota probably isn't flipping. South Carolina probably not as well. That second district would go to the Democrats, along with that second district in Nebraska. And Texas would probably be that final state that flips to the Democrats from the Republicans, and Missouri and Indiana go to the Republican Party. Finishing off our landslide map for the Democrats at 413 electoral votes, and the Republicans at 125 electoral votes. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.